This is the NBC Saturday Night News. Brought to you by Exxon. Tonight, May 21st, with John Hart reporting from the NBC News Center in New York.
Good evening. The general is fired. General John Singlaub, who said the president's plan to bring American troops home from South Korea would lead to war there, called to the White House today and removed from command as U.S. Chief of Staff, Korea. Two reports from Washington.
General Singlaub was accompanied to the White House for his meeting with the president by Defense Secretary Harold Brown. White House officials say no decision had been made about the general's future before he drove through the Executive Mansion gates for the 30-minute meeting in the Oval Office, a meeting attended only by the president, the general, and the defense secretary. And being called home from Korea for that meeting turned out to be a good thing for the general. A senior aide to the president said the action would have been more severe if the meeting hadn't occurred. During that session, Mr. Carter became convinced that the general's remarks were not an attempt to be disloyal, insubordinate, or malicious. The aide said Mr. Carter was not without sympathy for the general, and so he will be reassigned without a formal admonition or reprimand. The aide denied Mr. Carter's decision to order the general home was the result of a burst of temper, anger that had since cooled. The president is still upset by the timing, only days before officials begin talks with the South Koreans about the withdrawal of American troops. And today's action, less severe than it might have been, is still a signal to the military to fall in line behind the president's policy, a policy many of them still oppose. Bob Jamieson, NBC News, at the White House.
A Defense Department official here at the Pentagon said that Singlaub's explanation was that he had been talking for background only, not on the record, when he told a reporter that American withdrawal from Korea could lead to war. The Pentagon official said Singlaub also believed he was expressing the apprehensions of the South Koreans, although he did not disagree with them. Neither Singlaub nor Defense Secretary Harold Brown would have any comment today, but Pentagon spokesman Tom Ross stated Brown's position.
Secretary Brown has said, and I quote, "Public statements by General Singlaub, inconsistent with announced national security policy, have made it very difficult for him to carry out the duties of his present assignment in Korea. I have, therefore, recommended to the President that General Singlaub be reassigned, and with the President's concurrence, I have directed the Secretary of the Army to take action to that effect."
Pentagon sources said they also viewed Singlaub's reassignment as sort of middle-of-the-road punishment. He could have been simply reprimanded, or he could have been fired. But, said the sources, in any event, President Carter could not have sent Singlaub back to Korea, because that might have been taken as a signal by the Koreans that Washington is reconsidering its withdrawal policy. It is not. It also might have been taken as a signal by the officer corps that they can publicly take issue with their commander-in-chief. Now, said a Pentagon official, they know they cannot. As for Singlaub, his plans are unclear, except that he knows in the near future he'll have a new assignment. Charles Quinn, NBC News at the Pentagon.
There's other news today, good for Secretary of State Vance, back from talking with Russia's Andrei Gromyko. Not so good for UN Ambassador Andrew Young, who cannot see what he wants to see in South Africa. Bad for two people spending $100 bills in Phoenix, where they were arrested today in the murder of a millionaires. And at the races, number 2 for Seattle Slew. And other things shortly.
Energy for a strong America. Shouldering America's
tomorrow. We spoke with Captain Stidham out there, and he told us that in order to present this to John Mitchell, which we had hoped to do, that we would first have to submit a letter to Mr. Mitchell, and then upon his approval, he would file a request with the prison to have the T-shirt in his possession. Unfortunately, we drove 24 hours down from Hartford, Connecticut, and we felt that an exception could have been made in that particular case, you know, but we didn't get anywhere. Seemed like a lot of bureaucratic red tape, you know.
Are you still going to pursue the matter and try to get John Mitchell to...
What we hope to do is now we feel that we would like to present it to him personally, so we're going to send John Mitchell a certified letter so that we're sure that he does receive the letter, and we'll take it from there. That's our goal, actually. as well as marketing the T-shirts.
Do you think he'll want the T-shirt?
We think that it would be wise if he did accept it. Whether or not he wants it, I guess, is up to him. We would hope that he would take it.
Why is that?
Well, although I don't agree with his involvement in the Watergate, naturally, I think that, I wish him the best there and would like to see him wear the T-shirt in good health.
Ms. Williamson.
Mr. Bonham, do you have any suggestions of what could be done with the building?
Yes, I do. For one, I think that the building would make an excellent fire apparatus museum. I think that it could be explored with the firemen, who I understand are about to embark on a fundraising program to build a building, to explore with them as to whether this building could be used for the meeting hall.
It seems, though, that there are those who, should I ask this council to ratify the Beatitudes, would oppose it. This fire station has been closed 4 years, 2 months, and 9 days. It's been on a city block for sale for that length of time. Where have those voices been that cry in the wilderness now about fix up and renovate the fire station? That fire station has been sitting out there, a rat-infested wino haven, and I got the police records right here where they've been using it. They've been robbed, beaten, and mugged in that fire station. That fire station is rat-infested. It has no value whatsoever, and this council and this mayor, particularly this mayor, has, in my opinion, been hired for the purpose of showing some leadership, and the leadership has been demanded of us by the Maxwell Air Force Base Commandant, Air University General, who suggested to us to clean up that street out there.
Would you speak into the mic, please?
Excuse me, Mr. President.
All these other people involved is, for they are concerned and considered and worked with us. So if you're worried about but my position, I do serve on the board of that institution. There are many agencies in the state of Alabama who have, by law, been charged with delivering services to the blind. That's evidenced, I think, by the people around the room today representing the following people: Medicaid, pensions and security, mental health.
Over this United States. If you don't believe me, I can give you the names and let you go see about it. Now that's not 20 over 200. Now, we just ask kindly and nicely for something that we need. We need jobs. Look how little you dealt with employment. 6 recommendations in the Institute for employment. Just go look. Go to 65, recommendation 65 on page 86 or 7. 6 of them on employment. That's what all of our problem was about. We eat. We buy clothes. You've lured us off the streets as beggars. You don't want to see us in your eye as beggars. What are you going to do to us next? Send us to the chimney corner with a handful of crumbs? Now, this is just too bad to think about, and we just can't take it. Now, if you implement this, you'll just give us twice the nothing that we've already got.
Between the study that you're asking for and your report, I don't understand the relationship. What is the relationship between your report and the study you asked for?
If I might, Mr. Miller, I'd like to ask the authority just
down our throat.
Who shoved blackness down your throat? Who shoved this? You know, you have your own opinion.
May I
Listen, you guys, we're involved in philosophical and personality.
Shelter McClellan, whom I have known for many years, who worked for
services to the blind of this state, whether it be an agency or consumer or whatnot. To take this study, you have a copy or we provide one. Give your comments, concerns, questions, or what have you, in writing to me or Dr. C.C. Baker at this address, this comment, and urge you to listen.
Okay, we lost the service that operates what we call our station service here at this substation. This controls the fans and the relays and other equipment here in the substation. There was a malfunction that was probably caused by the hot weather this afternoon here in the station. At this point, the temperature rose in the two major power transformers here in the substation, and due to that, the protective devices took them off the line, so that we did, when we take them off the line, we cut off the lights to large areas of Montgomery. This happened about 8:45 tonight. We have restored power at this point here at 10:15, 10:20 to about half of our customers. A major area which is still out is along the Atlanta Highway. We hope to have this restored following testing on this other major transformer, which will be concluded here in another 15 or 30 minutes.
Okay, what exactly does that involve, testing the transformer?
We're testing the gases on the top of the transformer to make sure we don't have a combustible gas there, which might have been caused by the high temperature in the transformer.
What can be done to prevent this in the future? Does this happen often?
Well, this is the first time that I know of that we've lost this entire substation for this. It's an accumulation of stressing our entire system to the limit by not expanding it at the rate that it really should be expanded. And this is due to basically financial difficulties of the company.
Okay, what can be done, though, to prevent it? Is there anything that can be done?
Well, we're just going to do the best we can to keep it from happening. Timely rate relief is really what's reflected in the situation we're having here tonight.
We are transferring our division headquarters from both Philadelphia and Camp Pendleton to New Orleans. And in celebration of this event, we are moving both headquarters flags from Philadelphia and from Camp Pendleton to New Orleans, where we will become the 4th Marine Amphibious Force. And that's essentially what we're doing. We're moving it by foot by direction of our division commander.
Was this the actual flag that flew over each camp?
This is the actual flag that flew over the Philadelphia camp.
Okay, did each person run individually?
Yes, everybody in our unit has run at least 5 miles.
How did you work that out?
We ran it on 1-mile relays. Each person would run a mile and take their turn along the way. We've run 44.8 miles today.
And how much farther to go?
49.3 miles.
How long did you do that in one day, you think?
Yes, we will start at 9:30 tomorrow morning after a brief ceremony with Lieutenant Governor Beasley and Mayor Fulmer and the Honorable Will Hill Tankersley. We will start running towards Greenville, and we'll follow U.S. Route 31 all the way down.
And then this flag will eventually fly over the New Orleans camp, is that correct?
That's correct. We will turn it over in Greenville to the Mobile Reserve Unit, and they will run it to Mobile, at which point they will turn it over to the Gulfport Reserve Unit, and they will take it all the way into New Orleans.
So what day will the flag actually rest atop the camp?
We're shooting for the 1st of September. We started this on 1 May, and we hope by the 1st of September to have it flying over the New Orleans headquarters.
What is the actual purpose of running as opposed to just, say, flying it down to the other camp?
It's twofold. It's to stress the physical fitness of today's Marines, and it's to also exhibit the Marine Corps' attitude towards the energy crunch, that we can move it by foot. Why, waste energy moving it otherwise? So we're doing pretty good. It's a long run.
This is a live update from the Alabama Power Company. Montgomery and South Alabama is in the midst of a heat wave. T.W. Curley is operations manager for the Alabama Power Company. Is there enough power? Do you expect any problems because of the 90 and 100 degree temperatures here?
Norman, all of our facilities are heavily loaded today, our lines and generation, but we're very fortunate today to have all of our generation but one small generator on the line, and we don't, at this moment, don't anticipate any problems. We have plenty of power for Montgomery and the state. However, I attribute this to the fact that the textile industry and a lot of other industries in Alabama take the 4th of July week off for vacation, so we figure about 3 to 5% of our load is off the line because of these people on vacation. And of course, the situation could change at any moment, even while we're talking here, but right now we're in good shape.
We'll have an update, a complete report on the power situation and other stories on the 6 o'clock report. This is Norman Lumpkin reporting live from the Alabama Power Company. T.W. Curley is the operations manager for the Alabama Power Company, and we are going to ask him whether or not we have enough power. Has it been affected greatly today by the 100-degree plus temperatures? What is the situation, Mr. Curley?
Norman, the temperature has affected it today. We've had all of our facilities heavily loaded. Our lines are heavily loaded, but most of our generation facilities are on the line and operating. We just have one small generator off the line, and we're able to carry it all right. We established a load today which is just about equivalent to the peak that we established back in June. It would have been probably much greater than this if some industries had not been closed down for vacation for the 4th of July week, textiles and other industries. So we're carrying the load all right now, and it's beginning to drop off a little bit at this time.
What do you attribute the drop to?
A lot of industry closes down at 5 o'clock and goes home, so the load will start dropping off about this time of day.
The power shut down last night at the transmission station. What caused that, and would that be a problem today or tonight? You expect any other problems like that?
No, we don't expect any other problems. We've corrected the situation that caused that last night, and it was not a power shortage, but just simply our cooling system on our large power transformers failed, and these transformers overheated, and our protective equipment performed the way it should perform and took those transformers out of service so that they could cool down.
So otherwise, there is enough power. You did not have a problem today in terms of meeting the requirements put on the company by customers?
No, we didn't have a problem today, but the main reason for that, most of our generation was on, and we had these other industries that were on vacation.
At this point, power company people cannot say what will be tomorrow's predictions in terms of power usage. They cannot say how hot it will be, but it is hot. There is a high demand for power, and it is expected to continue as long as temperatures reach 100 and over. This is Norman Lumpkin, WSFA TV News, live from downtown Montgomery.
Torrid summer days have been made even hotter by Chicago's 2 first-place teams. The White Sox have been getting power from players not noted for the long ball. Oscar Gamble hit his 15th of the year into the 3rd deck in the Seattle Kingdome to start a big second inning. Alan Bannister, who's batting .310, far above his lifetime average, drove in 2 more runs with a bases-loaded single off Seattle's Gary Wheelock, and the White Sox were ahead 3-0. The White Sox got their final run in the 6th inning when Oscar Gamble again connected for a solo homer, the 101st homer of the season for the power-laden White Sox. The only bright spot for the expansion Mariners was the hitting of Lee.
draw a lot of attention, so reactions vary a lot. From people, a lot of people don't appreciate it, a lot of people think it's funny, and then right on, a lot of people think it's okay.
What kind of reactions do you get from interstate 18-wheel drivers?
I laugh out loud a lot, I swear.
Do you get a lot of double takes?
Plenty of those.
What do you say for a lady who would consider doing a job like this?
I hope she gets the job. It's a good paying job for the area, and there's no real work involved with it unless you don't like to sweat a lot. If that bothers you, I wouldn't recommend it at all.
What is the strangest reaction you think you've gotten from passers-by?
I had a man stop one day and hand me a cold beer. I did, I swear. I guess he thought I looked real hot, so he gave me a cold beer.
This complex is a 5-field facility, and we basically, the plans are to use this facility for local league games Monday through Thursdays, and then we plan to have tournaments on the weekends. In fact, this year we already have 8 tournaments lined up to complete the summer.
Okay, how much did the entire thing cost here?
Dan, approximately $1 million. That includes all the drainage, the fill that we had to do with the site, the lights, the building, the concrete area. We got an irrigation system, and the parking lot for 750 cars cost approximately $1 million.
We probably tried to turn ourselves, but I approved of off the grass. And we say so much to do that. We got to do the meeting.
That go pretty much as planned. Was there any extra expenses that you haven't planned on?
Not.
I exposed myself quite well in the movie.
Let me ask you this. Is your face ever seen in this film?
Oh, yes. This mask is only on for about 30, 40 seconds in the film. I'm quite beautiful.
Rubber Gun isn't considered to be one of the favorites here, but then you never know. The highlight of the whole festival may come on Tuesday, when France will be gripped by a general strike. That means no transportation, no cab drivers, waiters, bartenders, no electricity, projectionists, or film screenings. Only the beach, weather permitting. Fred Briggs, NBC News, at my first and very likely last Cannes Film Festival.
And that's the news and something more tonight. I'm John Hart. Good night for NBC News.
Energy for a strong America. These college students are seeing how solar energy powers this railroad signal.
The power for the entire system is provided by sunlight striking the solar cells, which convert the photons in the sunlight into electricity and charge up a bank of batteries.
For the future, say around the year 2000, do you think solar energy might be one of the major suppliers of energy for the world?
Not major, but very important. It's not, if you look at the percent contribution of solar energy as compared with all energy, it's going to look very small by anybody's reckoning. But if you look at those applications where it does fit, it's just a beautiful match of a supply with a demand.
At Exxon, we think it's important to develop almost every kind of energy under the sun. Energy for a strong America.
This has been the NBC Saturday Night News, brought to you by Exxon.
Horrifying forces invade an English millionaire's mansion. And 2 American experts are summoned to battle the occult. Spectre, a world premiere movie starring Robert Culp and Gig Young. Spectre, right after Circus Lions, Tigers, and Melissa's 2. Tonight, starting at 9, 8 Central.